Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what Iran's most dangerous weapon is? No, it is not a nuclear bomb. Iran's most powerful weapon is the Strait of Hormuz.
Death to America.
Strait of Hormuz actively shut down by the conflict.
Will escort tankers through the strait if needed.
All navigating through the Strait of Hormuz is forbidden.
This is Iran's location on the world map, and very close to Iran, there is a narrow passage in the sea. At first glance, this route looks very small, but in reality, it is one of the most important routes for the global economy. This place is called the Strait of Hormuz. It is one of the most important sea routes in the world through which oil and gas are transported to the rest of the world. In fact, around this route are countries that produce some of the largest amounts of oil in the world, such as Kuwait, Iraq, Qatar, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. Most of the oil produced in these countries passes through this small route to reach different parts of the world. Today, nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this route. Every day, more than 20 million barrels of oil are transported through this passage to different countries. That means trillions of dollars in trade pass through here every year. Which clearly means, if this route were ever closed, the global economy could face a major shock. But there is also a serious problem with this route. This passage is very narrow, and at its narrowest point, it is only about 40 kilometers wide. And for decades, the country with the most influence near this route has been Iran. This is the same route through which petrol and gas reach your country, the fuel that powers cars, buses, trains, and even ships. And Iran knows this very well. That is why when tensions increased, Iran warned the United States. Iran said that if it were attacked, it would close the Strait of Hormuz. And if that happened, the world economy could suffer a serious blow. However, the United States and Israel did not back down from Iran's warning. As a result, tensions in the region began to rise rapidly, and the situation started to escalate. During this time, missile attacks were reported in several places, and the conflict became even more intense. Then a moment came that shocked the entire world. Iran's Navy announced that ships passing through this route could be stopped. Soon after, several large oil tankers became stuck near this passage. These ships were carrying millions of barrels of oil. As the oil supply started to slow down, fuel prices began rising in many countries around the world. Economies in Asia, Europe, and Africa started to feel the impact. Because when oil prices rise, the entire global economy is affected. That is why many experts say that the Strait of Hormuz is not just a sea route. It is actually the lifeline of the global economy. And if this route were ever closed for a long time, the consequences for the world could be severe. But the real question still remains. Will tensions continue to rise, or will the world's major powers find a way to resolve this crisis? Only time will reveal the answer. Could the Strait of Hormuz really change the global economy? Let me know your opinion in the comments below.